And fear him which kills the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both body, soul, in hell. So who can destroy our soul and body? Who is that person that separates us from God? And that's sin. That's the devil. He's the one who's trying to get us into hell, to destroy us. He's the one that's separating God's people. He is the one that allows people to, he strays them away. He's the one that fills your thoughts up with these illusions and with these delusions and the fact that you change your body and you change your soul. But in the end, he's just trying to get you away from God. So we need to go back. We need to go back to the point where we just simply came from dirt. But in that time, back when Adam and Eve, before they even ate the fruit, they were just living their lives. They were with all the animals. They had no problems with them. And then it all went down once the devil was introduced. And then that's still what's happening today. People nowadays, they just don't live their lives with God anymore. And then they ask why they have all these issues, all these problems, and why all these bad things happen to them. But all you need to do is just follow Jesus, for he is the one that keeps you clean and he's the one that keeps you safe. He's also the one that died on the cross for you. And then Mark chapter 8:34. This is when Jesus is calling out to the disciples, and when he had called the people unto him with his disciples, he has said unto them, whoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So deny yourself and pick up your cross. Follow him. Drop what you're doing, leave your stuff behind, and go with him. Because he is the only one who can actually save us. Give him everything. Because in the end, you're just dirt. And you lose your spirit. The spirit returns to God. You can't control where that goes because he's the one who breathed it into you. He's the one who gave that to you. And you can't take things from God. And your spirit, it just goes with him. And your flesh stays here on earth. You can't take your flesh with you to heaven. When we're in heaven or hell, depending on your actions, it's just your soul that's left, just your conscience. But it also says in the Bible that you won't remember, but you'll be there for all eternity. So you're gonna experience things there. But just drop what you're doing and follow him. That's what the disciples did. They were just all doing their own thing at the time. Some of them were fishing. Jesus came around, talked to them. They stopped what they're doing and they went with him because he is the one true path. People nowadays people suck. People suck nowadays. That's why there's just all these problems in the world. So then, now let's go to Luke 9:24-25. For whoever will save his life shall lose it, but whoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. So if you try to save your life on your own, then you end up not doing it. The only way to save yourself is with going with God. So all these people try to pretend to be a good person when they don't really know what to do. So you see all these people nowadays, they just donate money, they do good things, but in the end, if you're not with God, you still go to hell because you're still a sinner. So you have to ask for forgiveness because he is the only way that you're able to be saved in the end. So currently we know that without God, we're just dirt and a soul and a spirit. Dirt becomes dirt. Your spirit goes away and goes to God, and then it's just your soul. So what are you doing with your soul? Where are you keeping it? People don't know that. Some people don't even know that they have a soul, so they just live their lives like mindless things. People don't have dreams. People don't know what to do with themselves. So you see these people go down dark paths, and then in the end they regret it. And then they get caught up, and then they beat up with, because you see all these people, and people obviously see other people, but if you're a Christian and you see someone going down a path like this, reach out to them, talk to them, because you're able to save them. If you just, even if it's something as sitting down with them and talking for 5 minutes, if you never sat down with that person, you have no idea whether or not they even know about God. And then in that 5 minutes, you could just mention it, and then they're like, oh, this is cool. I never knew about this. And then if you talk with them, then maybe they'll have a similar thought, and then that changes their thought patterns, and then they'll have some idea of what's going on. And that small realization can change their entire standpoint of life. There's just a lot of things that go into this. And the only way to save yourself is if you follow Jesus. Just like it said in Mark 8, drop what you're doing and pick up your cross and follow him. For he is the only one way out of here. And then this is the most popular verse in the Bible, John 3:16. And for so God loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, to whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal lasting life. For God sent not his Son unto the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but will believe not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the begotten Son. So he didn't send Jesus to curse us. He sent him to save us. He sent him to give us a way out. You hear people saying, oh, if God loved the world so much, why doesn't he do something to fix it? He has done something, and people don't know it. People gave us a way out. I mean, God gave us a way out. God gave us Jesus. All you have to do is believe in him. You have to give your life to Jesus. You have to make sure you pray to him, because it's a connection. You have to. It's like a loved one that you would have. Like, let's say you're married to someone. You can't be married to someone if you never talk to them. You can't be married to them if you don't go out and express your feelings to them. It's a two-way connection. It's not, because if it's just one way, you're just talking to a wall. Jesus is out there trying to reach to you, and you're just ignoring him. Because even if it's small things, because he'll send you messages and signs and stuff, and they're out there, and then this happens to me a lot. He gives me signs and stuff, but I see it at the moment, but then I just overlook it, and I feel like that happens to a lot of people. It's something slight, and then whenever you finally mess up, you're like, oh, that's what that was for. It's he will reach out to you. It's just a whether or not if you're looking for it, if you have that on your mind or not. Because Jesus is always has you on his mind, because he loves you. And then this just leads up to if you are who you really are. So if you gotta make sure you know who you are, because in the end, if you say that you're a Christian and you're not, then what was that all for? It's even people, because there's a lot of people nowadays as well who say that they go to church, they say that they read, and that they say that they pray, but if they don't do any of these things, they're just lying, and then they're just contradicting themselves. And then all these people it's like they have it backwards. Like they go, then they learn what to do, and then they say that they do it, but then they don't do it. Like even if you do this at a job, like it's not a good thing to keep doing, because eventually you get fired, people will know, and then like people talk, so then it spreads around, and then you end up not having a job because of this. So you got to add this to your daily lives, because it's something that it's a lifestyle, like, because this is not for everyone. It's just like not every job is for everyone, but you can keep doing it regardless of who you are, and if you really do believe in doing it. Because Jesus was on the cross, and then there was 2 bandits with him, 2 thieves, and then literally they were sinners their entire lives. They probably didn't know who he was until they were up there. Regardless of who you are, you can still get saved. You can, like, regardless of how much you've sinned, as long as you repent, you can still get saved.